And we are going to try to get to all of those stories today, but we are also standing by for a press conference from North Idaho, where 2 firefighters were killed and another is fighting for his life in the hospital after they were ambushed and shot while responding to a wildfire near Coeur d'Alene yesterday. The Kootenai County Sheriff believes the fire was started intentionally in order to lure the firefighters to that location, and that's when they were ambushed. We know the firefighters responding to the Canfield Mountain call came from Coeur d'Alene Fire Department, the Kootenai County Fire and Rescue, and the Northern Lakes District. The 2 firefighters killed were from Coeur d'Alene and Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. The Sheriff's Office is holding its second press conference of the day to provide updates on this investigation, including the names of those killed, which we're supposed to hear shortly at any moment. So if they are up and ready to go, let's take a peek and see what they're doing now. Looks like that, and let's listen into what they have to say.
And then collectively, then we'll ask the mayor of Coeur d'Alene to say something. And then at the end, we'll take questions collectively as a group and direct them to the most appropriate person. So, Chief Greif.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I know that you all have important jobs, and I want to thank you all for being patient over the last 24 hours. I'm Tom Greif. I have the honor of being the fire chief of the city of Coeur d'Alene, and I'm joined with my union president, Gabe Becker.
And I want to introduce to you Local 2856 Firefighters Union President Justin Zabel from Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. So obviously, as you know, tragedy unfolded in our community yesterday. An unimaginable and unthinkable tragedy took place, and I want you to understand today's focus is simply to talk and honor the lives of the firefighters and the injured that lost their lives, as well as the injured firefighter. We are not going to answer or entertain questions about the legal pieces of this or the criminal investigation. As you know, that's all part of the Sheriff's Department and their partner agencies. I think we want to start by thanking all of our partner agencies. Obviously, we work together with Coeur d'Alene Fire every day at Kootenai Fire, but we need to thank all of the fire and EMS agencies in the local and state and regional who have the outpouring of support that we are receiving right now. Is second to none. There has not been a need that has been unmet. We also want to thank our law enforcement partners. As you can imagine, this is a relatively dynamic situation, changing hourly, and we want to thank all of our law enforcement, again, local, state, federal partners that have helped throughout this crisis. I'm going to talk a little bit about our firefighter, but at first I want to insist that we ask the media to begin respecting the families. These families have an unimaginable loss that they are dealing with. The fire families have an unimaginable loss that they are dealing with. And at this point, we have had to post police guards at the houses of the firefighters because of citizens and media coming up and to their houses. That is simply unacceptable in this time of grief. So we're going to ask that you absolutely respect the families of our firefighters, respect our firefighters that are working and still protecting their community today. We thank you for sharing our message. We want you to be part of this, and we want to partner with you, but we absolutely have a mission, and our mission is to take care of the families of the fallen, the injured, and again, our firefighters that are still serving the community. With that, it saddens me to announce that Battalion Chief Frank Harwood, 42 years old, has been a member of our department for 17 years, passed away in the line of duty yesterday. Chief Harwood is married, has 2 children. He is also a former Army National Guard combat engineer, so he's a veteran as well. Chief Harwood was a leader in our organization. He did an amazing job. He was a shift commander. He was well respected by his shift. This loss is felt by so many, including all of the members of his shift that worked and saw the incident yesterday. So we're going to ask, and President Zabel is going to speak a little more directly about Chief Harwood, but we would ask that you would keep him in your thoughts and your prayers as we continue this important mission that we serve every day. That said, shortly after today's press conference, working with the International Association of Firefighters, we will have pictures of the fallen available in one graphic. It is important to note that we are operating as one incident. Although 2 departments, we are working hand in hand through this. And I could not appreciate that more. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Greif.
All right, I'm going to echo some things that Chief Way said, but yesterday was one of the most absolute darkest days that either one of these organizations has ever faced. As the community has already seen, this unimaginable act of violence took place at a wildland fire incident on Canfield Mountain. At this time, we're not able to discuss certain details as this remains an active investigation. So we'll do our best for the questions and answers following this press conference. Out of respect for our fallen brothers and their families, again, I'm going to ask that we limit comments to confirm facts at this time. This afternoon, we're here to share the names of our brothers that lost their lives and the one that's been critically injured yesterday. From the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department, Battalion Chief John Morrison sustained fatal gunshot wounds yesterday and died in the line of duty. John Morrison began his career with the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department back in 1996. He's the battalion chief of Blue Shift, and he's held the ranks of firefighter, engineer, captain, battalion chief, and he's also a longtime paramedic for our department. He has served the city of Coeur d'Alene and this community for over 28 and a half years. Also injured in yesterday's incident was engineer Dave Tisdall, who sustained gunshot wounds as well, and he is currently in critical condition at Kootenai Health. Dave is surrounded by his family, and he's had 2 successful surgeries as of noon today. I do have a brief statement that Mrs. Tisdall wrote that I'd like to read. We thank everyone for their love and support. Dave is surrounded by his family, and he is able to open his eyes, and the 2 surgeries have gone well. Like I said, he is in ICU at Kootenai Health, and our focus and support is going to be with the Tisdall family at this point. As Chief Way stated, we would ask that the media please respect the privacy of the families and direct your inquiries through the fire departments if possible. Our focus today and in the coming days will be providing support to the Tisdall family as well as both families that lost loved ones yesterday. At the same time, both of our departments are going to be focusing and providing mental health resources for our personnel and families that are going to be greatly impacted by this tragic event for months and years to come. As Chris Way said, we're grateful to law enforcement partners for their swift response and their continued efforts for their investigation. We would like to thank the numerous regional agencies that have provided resources and support over the past 24 hours. The community support has been nothing short of amazing, and all agencies involved will be needing every bit of that moving forward as we have a long road ahead of us. With that, I would like to turn the podium over to Union President Gabe Eckert with Local 710.
Yesterday was a terrible day. We as firefighters lost 2 brothers and saw one hospitalized with serious injuries. This community lost 2 dedicated public servants. The outpouring of support from this community has been incredible, and the amount of food, cards, offers for help, everything is truly appreciated. For those who want to donate, you can donate with either the Red and Blue Foundation, the Jeff Welch Memorial Foundation, and there are also accounts set up for all 3 families and then the 3 families individually that can be accessed through any First Interstate Bank. These will all be linked to on our social medias in the following hours. In the meantime, we'd ask that you allow the families the peace that they deserve so that they can mourn their losses. These men were dedicated firefighters. They were dedicated to their community. Speaking to Tisdall, speaking to Morrison, these guys were hard workers. They loved their families. I just want to share a little story. 2 weeks ago, my last memory with John, I had the opportunity to work with him as he worked back on my shift as a battalion chief. we had kind of a rare moment. Bowl at the station, and we went out onto the back patio and we smoked cigars and we talked with each other. We talked about being better fathers. We talked about being better leaders. We talked about being better firefighters. And I just want to say I am so incredibly grateful that that gets to be my last memory with him. So if there's anything you guys take away from this, I want you to know these were dedicated men, and they were dedicated to this community. Thank you very much.
I'm Justin Zabel, President, Local 2856, Kootenai County Firefighters. This tragedy does not define our community. What's often overlooked in times like these is the overwhelming love and support we receive from the people we serve. It's that love for this community that inspired Brother Morrison and Brother Harwood to answer the call in service to their families, their union brothers and sisters, and the place they called home. They made the ultimate sacrifice in that service. The men and women of Local 710 and Local 2856 will continue to answer that call because it's who we are. And it's how we honor the memory of our brothers who gave their lives doing the job they loved in service to others. Thank you.
As they both mentioned, there are donation opportunities that you can find on all of our social media pages. I want to remind people that this is, again, an incredibly fluid situation, changing on a minute's notice. The one thing I can announce is that we are doing a procession returning back to the city. As you know, we did a procession to the medical examiner's office yesterday. I just got told that we are leaving the medical examiner's office in Spokane at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we will be returning to English Funeral Chapel on 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene. We certainly invite the public to honor our firefighters and our heroes by standing on the bridges and the overpass and lining the roads. We would absolutely appreciate the support. Please again know that our firefighters and our staff and our chiefs and our commissioners and our elected officials truly appreciate and feel the love that our community is sending to us right now. With that, I'm going to ask Mayor Woody McEvers to come up and say a few words.
On behalf of myself, the City Council, the employees of the City of Coeur d'Alene, and all the members of our community, I want to begin by offering my deepest sympathy to the families of those tragically killed and injured yesterday in the line of duty. What they are going through is incredibly hard and heart-wrenching. And I want them to know that we're thinking of them. I also pledge that we'll stand with them in the coming days and weeks and months to offer all the respect and support and comfort and the love that they need. I want to thank all law enforcement, fire, and emergency personnel from many, many agencies throughout the region and the federal government who work so hard and heroically to deal with an event that was so unprecedented in our community. We still are in shock and are struggling to understand why someone would target unarmed
As you're listening to the press conference from Coeur d'Alene in North Idaho, where 2 firefighters were killed after an ambush attack fighting a fire yesterday. One of them, Kootenai Fire and Rescue Battalion Chief Frank Harwood, 42 years old, with 2 kids, an Army National Guard vet. The other one, a Coeur d'Alene Fire Battalion Chief John Morrison, who joined the force in 1996, has been 28 years fighting fires in that area. And 1 firefighter still remains in the hospital in critical condition after 2 surgeries. That'd be engineer Dave Tisdale from the Coeur d'Alene Fire as well. This press conference will continue live on KTVB+. Our own Abby Wilt is in Coeur d'Alene, and she will have the latest on the investigation and the 2 firefighters who tragically died fighting that fire, and one still fighting for his life, coming up on the news at 6. We'll be right back.